sound is easier holding you.
Cooking with Kya start to open up to the chat and tells she had a very bad day.
Today has been a day, y'all. There's so much that I want to tell y'all, but I'm not trying to seem like I'm being messy. But today has been a day. Y'all, why is it always something? Like, literally. I came on here to feel better, to talk to y'all and feel better.
She talks about how people use her clips to make her look bad.
Oh my gosh. Not everybody, because I really do appreciate my supporters, but it's like people clip me and make me out to be like, I don't know, they put the worst titles and then other people fall for it. There's this clip from like Mariah the Scientist where she was saying that people in the music industry, they kind of take music literally and like the words literally. Well, not just the music industry, like people, but yeah, I feel like when you work in like social media or you do like influencer type things, you shouldn't take thumbnails or titles literally at all. Like, you should know that by the time you're trying to be in social media, because really that industry is like entertainment for the most part. So it's important to be able to read between the lines in life and leave room for assumption, which is how you get clicks. So you make, let's say, a title that would be dramatic or extreme, or like an extreme of, let's say, a topic in the video, but it's not literally that. Like, for example, when someone says, "We got robbed," and they really just like dropped $10 and somebody picked it up. I'm saying that's the type of stuff you're gonna see on social media. So like, when someone is growing in the industry, or like when somebody, for example, this Cooking with Kya girl, she's saying people kind of make her out to be somebody she's not, and this and that and the third, because she's probably not used to the industry and all that yet. She's probably brand new in this shit. It's like she's probably sensitive to all type of stuff, or like adjusting her, like, you know what I'm saying, the way she feels and like how she should like move with what she's doing. You know, people trying to make sure they protect themselves and protect their feelings and stuff like that. So you want to be both joking and serious at the same time when you're doing like titles and stuff like that. So I was saying, if you're somebody that's kind of moving up in the industry, or like, let's say she's clearly trying to be like an influencer, or she is an influencer, and she's saying like there's people around her that probably trying to make her look bad or whatever, you never know how you can use the things and people around you for your better good. So even if there are people around you that are like trying to make you look bad, or trying to like do bad things to you, maybe for clout, or maybe literally because they just don't like you for whatever godforsaken reason, you're supposed to use that to grow and like thicken your skin and build, and like, you know, you're not supposed to let that be your focus, because, how do I put this? There's always gonna be like supporters and haters, light and dark. So, you know, you kind of have to like use your haters how you assume your haters are using you. So you kind of just like know where you're going, and you do that, you go that way. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you're trying to be successful, you focus on the sun and not the rain or the clouds or the storms or the things that pass, because you're just going to keep bringing that about. Besides, there's literally people that can read between the lines and stuff and understand the industry shit. So even if there are people around you doing stuff like that, or using your weaker points in life against you, and etc., there's people that understand that nobody is like perfect, and they also understand that sometimes people are really nosy in the world. Like there's people that live their life like followers versus being a leader. So that's why capitalism is the way it is and consumerism is the way it is, because there's people that just go to work, they come home, they watch what they watch, they do what they do. There's some people that, I used to be one of those people. There's people that just do the same exact thing like every literal day. Like literally, like, you know those old heads that really just do the exact 4 to 5 things every day, and then like they're just like a staple character in your family, or like, let's say there's somebody that you know, they go to school, they study, they come home, done. They repeat. Or your mom goes to work, she cleans up, she come home, do this, repeat. And then there's people that are kind of like, I like to call them real people that kind of just step into their own consciousness and like they kind of want to live their own life and do their own thing and kind of like think for themselves and break out of that like box. You feel me? Don't take everything so literally, and you gotta understand people for real. Understand yourself first, and then you understand people. And you gotta understand that with social media, people are going to click what's most dramatic or like attention grabbing. So like for women, you know, that could be how you look, and for men that could be whatever you have. But it's not literally like this is who I am. Like you don't call someone an attention whore because they look nice and they're getting attention from that. And you don't call a dude grimy or shiesty or money hungry just because he has money. Unless he's exhibiting behavior outside of that, to, you know what I'm saying? Or
yeah, I'm trying to ignore it. I really am, but it gets to a point. Like, just let me be. Let me be. Like, y'all don't even see me with nobody. Like, every day I look on the internet and it's just something about me in the most negative light. Y'all, that's the craziest part. It wasn't even all females. It was mostly guy mods. It was guy mods. Men, or whatever you want to call it. It's like, dang, who am I supposed to trust around me? And I really be chilling. Y'all know every time y'all see me stream, what am I doing? Every time y'all see me stream, I'm in the house, I'm cooking, I'm with my best friend, I'm with my family. What do I do? That's so bad. Like, I'm so confused. Like,
yeah, and she's trying to figure out what she did wrong. Because I guess maybe there's people on the internet that are displacing their anger towards her because maybe she's gaining the attention of people that shouldn't be looking at her, maybe in the way that they do. Now, her style of videos tends to be kind of, let's say, not extremely conservative or modest. Like, she's not shaking ass, but obviously she's a pretty person and she dresses however she wants to dress and she fits her clothes a certain way. And dudes, unfortunately for like people in relationships or like in maybe like situations where they don't really communicate the best, or they have insecurities, or everybody has insecurities, but I'm saying, let's just be honest. It's coming off like maybe she needs to stop what she's doing instead of the audience kind of just being the right audience. You know what I'm saying? And I don't feel like that's fair You know, she's a grown woman. She can do what she wants. She can do what she wants, and she can have her platform however she chooses to have it set up, and she can have the type of audience that she's supposed to have, and whatever audience she wants to have. I mean, you can't control your audience because that's just based on who's interested in you. Y'all ever seen the women, let's say on Instagram, in like bikinis, or like they do some certain type of content, or like whatever the f they doing, or men even, you know, it's just more common for it to be women being bashed for, like, let's say, like appreciating their sexuality or their bodies and stuff, you know, without validation, but or at least needing external validation. Y'all ever seen posts or people like that, and the comments are like, stop posting like this, there are kids on the internet, and it's really telling that they don't know what to be mad at for real, because from my knowledge, social media is for people 13 and up, correct? And they should also have supervision if they're like under 18, because at the end of the day, they're not an adult. So adult things are for adults, and adults with children that have devices and social media should be monitoring the ish out of their children versus trying to control or monitor an adult that's just being an adult doing what they want to do. So for people to be mad at Cooking with Kya for her content that's obviously meant for a specific audience, instead of controlling maybe their children or controlling themselves, or just not watching if you don't like it. Instead, they just choose to blame her or point the finger at her. That don't make sense to me.
And I usually don't even get like this. I usually don't let stuff affect me, but it's just like too much now. It's getting to a point.
She says she will be taking legal action against the people who pretends to be her.
I don't have Twitter. Like, now you pushing it. Now everybody finna just get exposed. I'm not even kidding. No, I don't have a Twitter at all. It's a fake account. Y'all, what do that Twitter be posting? All they do is steal anything I post. They go to my Snapchat, they go to my Instagram, they screen record my stories, and they post it on Twitter. Yeah, everybody followed that Twitter, thinking with me. Cause I be letting so much slide. But I think it's time I start like actually getting some legal action. I'm not even lying at this point. Y'all can call me a fed, but at this point, some legal action is gonna have to happen. I'm sorry.
I want to say, as someone who I feel is an attractive person on the internet and in real life, you get accused of being somebody you're not all the time. Like, just because you feel pretty or just because you are pretty. Like, you get like, let's say you're around men and other girls, and if you feel pretty and if you look, let's say, pretty, let's put emphasis on feel pretty, because people have their own opinions, you know, and you know, what's pretty to you might not be pretty to the next person, and that's a-okay. People assume that just because someone's pretty, they feel like they're above other people. Or if someone feels like they're smart and knowledgeable about multiple things or multifaceted, other people that are kind of insecure or don't really work on themselves feel like they think they are the smartest in the world above other people. And they never said that or expressed that or claimed that or acted like that. Never. You just get accused of being a whore. Just any guy you run into, if you're nice to them, they automatically think you want to like be with them. Or anytime you're seen with a guy or like hanging out with a guy, they assume y'all effed or will, or that's your motive, and all you want is just money and this and flashy that. And it's never like, okay, someone can be attractive and humble. And I don't know what type of people run into, but it's really disturbing and depressing and isolating to have people project their past experiences with, let's say, the wrong type of attractive people onto really genuine, humble, nice, attractive people. And then those are the type of people that usually don't have that many friends. They don't really do too much. They really keep their distance because people like to paint them out to be somebody that they're not. Because I don't know what it could be. It could be jealousy. It don't even have to be jealousy. It could be something like I said, past experiences. People have trauma, and they forget that said pretty or attractive people also have trauma. It may not be in the same way as your trauma. If you don't feel pretty and you feel like somebody feels above you, or you're putting somebody above you that never did, you know what I'm saying? Everybody has trauma. Everybody's going through. That's why it's important to be kind to everybody, because you can't just look at someone and assume they have life easier or they deserve less or more, or like you gotta be for real in this world. Like, honestly, attractive people, you may think their life is easy and they get handed stuff often, or they get privileges and stuff, and that's true to a certain extent, because on the flip side, there's always a flip side. What did it take to get there, and how many times have they been hurt, or who has targeted them simply for the fact of being pretty and taking advantage of them simply for the fact of being pretty, and this and that and the third, and you just don't know people. You know, you can't just assume. Social media is just kind of like a medium or a place to kind of just be yourself, right? Clearly that's what it's turning into, like a place where people could kind of change the game, like do things that are kind of traditional with their own twist to it or their own flavor. So I try not to assume anything about anyone that might have a certain status, whether it's they don't get that much or they have too much or whatever the case may be, because you just don't know like anything behind closed doors.
Leave me alone or something's gonna happen, I'm telling you. Like, this point, because I don't bother nobody. Then I'm getting tired of these fake accounts too. No, y'all, not all the mods. I do have some good mods.
If that's another thing too, you gotta worry about even being seen as a pretty person, because you don't know what type of eyes are going to be on you. So of course you're going to have supporters and the right eyes on you, and people that appreciate your beauty perfectly fine the way you're supposed to, and people who are nice and respectful and generous, etc., etc. We keep it pushing, we keep it mature, demure, mindful. And then there's other individuals that have like an evil eye, or like they just kind of don't appreciate beauty because they don't appreciate their own. So it's really challenging to be pretty, even if it sounds like, what's it called? You're making up problems, because no, everyone has problems.
You know what? Fuck that. I'm not ending my stream. Fuck it. Let me call my best friend and see if she's still... I'm gonna have to be back. Love y'all though. I don't want nobody on here calling me a crybaby or nothing. I feel like my name just gets slandered so much and I really don't be doing nothing. Like, I literally don't be doing nothing. It's just always something. When it comes to my name, it's just always something. Like, it's so rare that I see positive stuff about me. And I literally don't do nothing.
Let me tell you, right? A general post. If you're like a really real general person and you've been through a lot, like a lot, and you make a general post, talk about something you've experienced that you just genuinely to talk about, right? And it's really helped you to get something like that off your chest. Generally, safely, calmly, collected. Watch who attacks you for certain things that you talk about. Because 9 times out of 10, they're probably guilty or have a hand in how you feel. Especially if they're trying to like silence you or quiet you down. Or make you feel like you're trying to sneak this or anything, because no. That would then be like a form of admission of guilt, when there was no need. If you're trying to be, you know what I'm saying, somebody in the world, whoever the F you want to be, or whatever the F you want to do with your life, career-wise, life-wise, work-wise, play-wise, family-wise, solo-wise, you gotta have a good relationship with yourself. And I guess if you're religious, you could say you gotta have a good relationship with Jesus. Okay? So you use affirmations, you focus, you stay like optimistic, not positive, because you don't want to be living in like this toxic positivity where things are okay that aren't okay, but you also want to stay optimistic, or at least open-minded. Like, if something is not okay, I can acknowledge this is not okay, but I'm also trying to see the solution, or like be above the problem. And you know, there's power in the tongue, right? So everybody struggles with this. Like, literally, humanity has struggled with this for like ever. But, and I'm one of those people, I still tend to struggle with it, but at the same time, I'm really careful with what I say, and jokes even. I'm really careful with all type of stuff like that, and I might come off a little dry sometimes, but I feel like there's so much power in the tongue, for real, sometimes, that you really can speak stuff into existence, like. So I gotta be real careful how you think, how you feel, because it's gonna come out. And at the same time, what I'm gonna say, yeah, let's say you're trying to be a influencer, or you're trying to have a platform, or you're trying to do music, or you're trying to be a nurse, or you're trying to whatever. Speak kindly about yourself and support yourself first, and then you're going to receive that back. Like, you know, it's like a mirror. The universe is like a mirror. So it's also kind of like a drive-through. Like, you want to say things like, I'm going to try to have a good day. And if you want to take it a step further, I'm going to have a good day. But obviously you don't want to be like having a God complex. So you want to be for real, but you want to take control of your vehicle, your body, your life, your direction, you and everything, and not be letting life happen to you all the time. So you want to say things like, I'm going to try to have a good day, or I'm going to have a good day, instead of like, it's always something. That's like going to the drive-thru and being like, I don't want cheese. I don't want cheese. Or I don't want whatever you don't want. And all they heard was cheese. They're not hearing the beginning part. The beginning part probably cut out, you know what I'm saying? It's unnecessary. The word salad is unnecessary. It's unnecessary. The key word there was cheese. So they hear that and they're gonna give you the thing because you saying out your mouth like, oh my God, it's always something. Oh my God. Oh my God. Things are always happening to me. Oh, this is so bad. I'm like that too because, like, for example, the worst thing that I have done to myself is to acknowledge a little too much that I have anxiety. Like, I literally sometimes catch myself doing it and I couldn't stop. I'll be like, I'm anxious when da 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 da. And so when I'm running into these scenarios where it may be like opportunities or really good things, I'm setting myself up to be anxious. It's like, why would you do that? You're supposed to feel the anxiety and don't mention it. Or like just do it anyway. Or say it, like, be yourself. But it's hard. It's easier said than done, but that's just one example. There's so many millions of people that they talk about depression or they talk about this and that. That's one thing I try not to do for real is mention depression too much. That word, I don't fuck with that word because I have to keep pushing. Otherwise, I get comfortable in ish. And if I said depression as much as I say anxiety, I would have been like dead as fuck right now. Like the way I had to literally climb over depression that I felt but wasn't acknowledging. I just wasn't doing that with anxiety. So we can all do this together. Just be kind and speak life. Last thing I wanted to say was pretty people are usually expected to have like a hard exterior or like they're seen as like a mannequin. Like nothing can bother them. They're just perfect. People think that they can just handle tomatoes, hate. They don't need love. They love themselves enough. Or like they need to get off their high horse or they need to stop having a pity party. And life is simple for you because you're pretty or you're a girl or whatever they think, right? Nah, you're literally allowed to feel your feelings and cry. You're allowed to have emotions. You're allowed to feel like that was fucked up or they don't really with me for real. It's just X, Y, and Z. However, your life is going. You're allowed to be pretty and have like the problems that you're dealing with. Ain't nobody God over your life and can't nobody judge you but that, you feel me? You, only you for real. And then I don't know, that's really toxic to make somebody feel like if they're feeling their negative feelings that they're seeking attention or like looking for a quick fix or a handout. And a lot of people just never got the chance to really talk about how they feel because people around them probably didn't give up or just feel like their problems are bigger than the next person's. Like I'm saying, that's probably stemming from envy or trauma or whatever you want to call it. And you should never compare your problems to the next person's or compare your life to the next person's. And don't have no expectations of anybody. That's only breaking your heart. You gotta take accountability for you, your life, your feelings. And yeah, things have like a root cause and a stem. So you find the stem and don't pick at the petals that are growing from the root. You feel me? Don't pick at the pretty because of the ugly. And pull that ugly out and then you got a whole new garden